Namaste. Congratulations for such a webinar where we are trying to understand a very ancient and natural healing system, Ayurveda. Before that, I must wish you a very happy Deepavali, and particularly the day when we worship our God of Ayurveda, Dhanvantari. He is a teacher, he is a healer, he is a doctor. And we must remember him when we are practicing this science. The main thing or the first question has come that Ayurveda and Corona, how they go together. I would say that if people would have understood Ayurveda and practiced, Corona would not come. When we know that when suppose the winter is finished earlier and the summer starts, all of a sudden there are different insects or the trees, they behave differently. Every time when there are certain storms and something like this, which is not good for the mankind, then afterwards there are pandemics. And this is happening, and the first thing which Ayurveda would say is Janapadodvasa, means that when people would not live as a human being, but they will go back or it spreads the style of living like an animal. And particularly, they would not live as a complete global community, at least a community of the country or community of a small society. But they look after each other, help each other, and they have some love which become active, compassion which become active, and ready to help everybody without having any selfish relationship or attachment. When this happens, there is a corruption or the wars come and so on, so many things happen. And therefore, it would bring a Janapadodvasa, means destruction of the society, destruction of the places where people live, or the rivers will misbehave, the wind will misbehave, the sun will heat more, and so on. Or storms will come, fire will take place. Now, as an after effect or simultaneously something in the atmosphere, because as we agree that the world is not only a physical matter, but it is wave which is the origin, and everything is the waveform. And naturally, we are also having a particular waveform, and our thoughts surely, our behavior surely produce certain waves which may not be complementary, which may not be in harmony with the natural waves for good living or having good energy, and then they collide and start destruction or give rise to such pandemics. So, this is first the reason, and therefore, I would say that we will find something, we are wearing masks, we are keeping self distances, or maybe we wash our hands, feet and all this. We will find a vaccine, but still the reason remains, and till the reason remains, then we keep on saying that it is the first wave, second wave, third wave and so on. So, ultimately slowly even the intensity decreases, it will remain permanently, and it is sometime a disease which is producing more terror, more fear, which is very detrimental to our living, because the suction of the life force, we know that since I make movements, there must be energy. And from where I get this energy? From the food. But how it transforms into this action. So, body is a mechanism which will allow to get the pranic energy from the atmosphere and make it possible energy, a kind of energy which will be useful for human life and human living. So, everywhere there is a pran, we call pran is that life force. Pran is there, but we know that if there is a fault in the mechanism, like somebody has asthma, then he is not able to take that, and he has he has to somehow suck something. It will automatically come if our body is in harmony or our thoughts are good and so on. So, when we have such difficulties or problems, the fear, then we shrink, the cells contract. They try to, like we are sitting in our houses, that if we go out and in the crowds, there will be a problem. But then we cannot work, then we cannot communicate, and these problems are there. Same thing, body is a different city, body is a different town, and there are the citizens of cells and their mechanisms, their gathering. They are organized in a particular way that there are lungs, heart, kidneys and so on. So, they all but work together. If anything happens to our intestine, it will affect the kidney, heart and so on. If something goes wrong with the heart, it will affect the other parts of the body. And this is a completely balanced system, and the same system, when it breaks, there is a problem. Same thing happens in the society outside, and then we have big difficulties. So, the fear is our real enemy, and sometimes the answer for the fear is and was, earlier people developed this idea that this pranic force must be coming from some source, and this source is unknown, cannot be seen. So far, the modern science or whosoever, we have sent our rockets, and aeroplanes are always going up, rockets are going much distance, but they have not found any such entity or a source from where this radiation comes of the pranic energy. So, it is not there, but with the effect we understand it is there, and then we try to communicate, because when it is there, the wave communication, the thought wave communication is possible, and we say, "O Almighty, O God." Where is God? The God is not for seen, it is to understand by effects that we are alive, and then we say, manage something. So, this trust it develops, that we have a trust that somewhere something is very big and it supports our life and he can help. And this trust slowly goes, then the problem comes. This also is given, these are Ayurvedic principles. I am not telling you any mythology or philosophy. So, this is one. Then the medicines. Before that, I would say a natural lifestyle. And what happens? We need our immunity, we need nice breathing, and we nice other fight for the infections which come from the atmosphere, and simple things we always use. As we know, this is a plant which is growing in India, tulsi. We have more sun, so it is very strong, and it is sometimes one can see they are all these black stems. And here, if you go to cold countries, it becomes basilicum. It is a very delicate thing, and it is not that strong smell, very nice smell, and properties are almost same, but this is very strong. So, even if a plant is standing in front of the door, or if there are many plants and you sit, you find the effect, because it stops the virus, it stops every bad thing, the bad waves, and it is giving us a very, what I will say, strong immunity. Same thing, then we add this in a water, made a little decoction, maybe sometime this lemongrass, anti-inflammatory, This grows everywhere, available everywhere, and these are not expensive things. They are for anti-allergic this also, and we can use it every day. Then there is a mint, anti-infection again, and it is helping the balance of our lung, our colons and so on. So, colitis can be treated, and this is giloy, and this is a really very good plant which is increasing immunity, and it is giving strength to the cells and arranges the body in its natural form, because whenever there is a disorder, there is scattering, and this makes problem in the body. So, it brings it again together. Like this it is there, we take tea. Ayurvedic. This is Ayurvedic when you understand that what we want and what it does, and then we take the benefit. It is not some go in the market and say, give me some herbal tea, and maybe cumin seeds or something like this we bring, or mint and make a tea. No, not like this. Ayurveda defines that what is the requirement and what is the property you should look. Every day in the whole world, practice has come which allows you to burn this vairok, we can say dhoop, or say it is a mixture of the trees, gums, and this gives a very beautiful smell also. But this is nothing, this has a microparticle. It spreads in the house, and therefore you can take it here, there, and then it is. Now you must have seen that yes, it was done in the houses, it was done in the prayer places, temples and so on, and it is very, very ancient system, and a particular virus, particular herbs we burn, and every day as a practice we burn this dhoop in the house and make the smoke morning, evening, or at least in the evening. We have this experience. We follow Ayurveda, so we use it, and we have experience. And if you want more some a specific thing, then there are specific dhoops also. So there are dhoops for specific requirement for the children, for asthmatic people, from bronchial people, or when somewhere it looks like that the difficulties are not understood, then there are different smokes. Why not we do this? And Ayurveda practice starts there. We say lifestyle. Lifestyle means what? Ultimately, how we live. It is good always that we get up early and all these habits. But the main thing is that we should now come to food which we eat to suit our constitution. Not only we eat the food which is good for our taste and tongue and eyes. Mostly we say something, wow, yummy, yummy. Eyes have appreciated, but the food is not for eyes. The food is for every cell of the body, and therefore we should know what is our constitution and so on. Thank you.